Welcome to Prestige Encounters Beyond the Dice, our weekly Q&A session where we discuss the characters and lore of the world of Zolna. The questions we answer every week for Beyond the Dice are sometimes sourced from members of our audience, as well as our Prestige Encounters cast. You can actually submit your questions on lichsouls.com, and we're really happy to have your contribution. If you have anything you're curious about our characters or the lore of the world that you'd like members of the cast to discuss, we do not always have the same cast on, so if you have a question that's for a cast member who's not here, we'll certainly hold that for the next session. But this week, I'm actually joined by two members of our cast. I'm going to start with Chloe, who plays the wonderful wizard Emmeline. Hi, Chloe.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah. And Josh, who is kind of becoming a central figure of the story we're dealing with right now. He's playing Percy, the cleric who has kept us alive.
Yeah, I have. Well,
Yeah.
Nexus kept you guys alive, but I channel that power and did it. So I guess in a sense, yes,
She wouldn't have done it without you. So I mean, you got to give yourself some credit there.
Very true. Very true.
Otherwise she'd just sit back and be like, "Oh, this is outside of my domain. I don't care." So I guess we kind of open up with that little bit talking about gods, which is kind of an interesting place. If Chloe, in the past, I've sometimes been a little bit more prepared with questions, but it has been a month, and somehow a month seems like a gulf of time where, we're not sure if we're going to be doing a one-shot or this. Thankfully, we're going back to the main campaign, and we're touching at some really big, pressing matters dealing with a certain god of deception, Contras. And
This is happening, yes.
Yes, it is happening. And that sort of going to open up because the last session, we faced a couple really, interesting moments where Emmeline seemed to be a little less trusting of people, to the point where she was kind of considering maybe killing a man who was trying to lead us back to his home, and thanks for helping him. Do you have any, it's not so much your question, but what do you think Emmeline's headspace is right now in this moment, knowing that Contras is lurking? He almost killed us, except for a wonderful moment where she changes the memory of a dragon, and now she's got this ever-pressing fear. Do you think she's kind of getting wrapped up in her own psyche right now, looking at every corner, wondering if anything is true?
Those are really good questions. And I think when we look at Emmeline, we have to really think about the human experience, right? Because in order to answer your question, I have to bring up an example in the sense that when you have a very simple life and when you don't do a lot of extraordinary things, your connections and the small things matter more, right? But when you have a lot going on, when you have really big things happening all the time, the little things just aren't as important. And with Emmeline, that really comes into play with her empathy and her sympathy, right? She's intelligent enough to deduce a lot of these things, but as she learns more, understands more, and goes through more, she is becoming more separated from her sense of empathy and her ability to relate with other people, which some would say is bad because she's maybe losing her humanity. Yeah. But some would say maybe that's good because that's allowing her to harden herself and become someone that can survive the things that are happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because she's been through, horrible trauma, death, resurrection, loss of friends, loved ones, trauma with her family, being ripped back open. She lost her job. Which is a little raw.
Yeah, and that sucked, the whole thing of it. But natural progression, rejection is protection. The job, it was a dead end anyway, right? Yeah. So
she was using it.
I think that right now there's a lot of really interesting ways that Emmeline could go, but yes, she's becoming more paranoid, less trusting, and unfortunately, I think if that continues, she may not make it to the point I want her to.
Yeah. And, it's sort of the point where she's been going with a lot of a lot of interpersonal conflict with the rest of the party, to the point where there was a little bit of a problem in the last session between her and another character.
Because Sanasha, I mean, when you think about kind of what's happened to her recently, she has had a lot going on. And in her situation, like, she's trying to process. She doesn't necessarily seem like the type of person, correct me if I'm wrong, who's fantastic at processing, like, trauma and grief.
No,
right?
Not at all.
So she is struggling with something that inherently makes sense. But to Emmeline, in her head, there's this disconnect where she can't understand. She truly cannot understand. She's like, I died. I'm fine. I'm actually better, smarter, stronger.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's bothering you so much.
Yeah.
And there's this like apathy that she's gaining, and I'm really excited to kind of see if like the group can come together and overcome that, or if that's gonna like become a splinter in the group.
I think it has to. Something has to happen. Something has to change, because I think Sanasha was at the point where she was, rationally being irrational in her reaction to some of the things that have happened.
Of course.
Yeah. To the point where she reverted a little bit to the younger version of herself, where she just gave up responsibility for a night. Doesn't make any sense, but shit happens. People do spiral back sometimes when they're dealing with things. You can either deal with how you're feeling, or you can go back to coping mechanisms that you had. And I don't think Sanasha, outside of when she chose to become an adventurer, has really faced that much real trauma outside of parental pressure, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a major difference between Emmeline and Sanasha. Emmeline, I try to, within the story, and sometimes it's more obvious than not, I try to make sure everyone knows she's been digging graves since she could hold a shovel.
Yeah.
She has been a worker, and she's seen some shit. She's seen the bloated body. She's seen the disgusting things. But then she's also had to deal with some personal issues of her father dying, right? Or the ever turbulent relationship with her mother. So stress is not
and she's lost
unusual.
Her memories of her sister, which makes those. Does that make those memories harder to cope with for her, knowing that before she was being compared to her sister, and now her mother was just shitty to her for no reason?
It is a little easier for her, I believe, in this sense, because there is no direct competition that she knows of, right? To her, it's just, that's how mom is.
Yeah.
That's just who she is, and that's okay. She's just that way. Now there's no like, oh, my sister got this award and is showcasing this and doing this in this city.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that aspect as well.
And I presume with the way that Michael established these, will she ever be able to form new memories of her sister, or is her sister permanently erased from her memory no matter what?
The way that I understood it is that if Emmeline and her sister were to meet face to face, new memories would be able to form, but all previous memories up until the point of giving them over are gone.
So they'd have to come to terms with it, but she'd at least be able to come from a neutral position, not knowing this person.
You would think, but look at our current Emmeline. If you were to sit her down and say, "Hey, you actually have a sister,"
she might kill her. Thinking
I don't think.
This is fake. This isn't true. Or... This is an abyssal plant. This is an entity that Contra sent to trick me. I don't have a sister.
Spy.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to kind of see the final evolutions of Emmeline and like who she really starts to grow into if she's able to fight the paranoia.
Yeah. If we survive Contras.
True. Which I'm sure we will.
I mean, yeah. Because and we'll touch on Percy's familial trauma in a second, but he's
got plenty.
Sort of, he was sort of the recurring narrative to the story, because everything's about Percy right now in some ways. But we did find at the end of the session an old woman who turned out to be the Demon Prince of Deception's mother. Kind of a big moment there. What were you both expecting us to actually find? You know, we were sent here to find Contrast's one weakness. What were we expecting?
I mean, I thought it was going to be a girlfriend. I thought that this old woman was maybe a girlfriend or a wife or some kind of like a piece of his mortality that he still loved.
Yeah.
So I guess I was right in a way.
Yeah, it was a connection. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh?
I mean, to be completely honest, I wasn't sure. I presumed. Oh, sorry. I presumed that this house was connected to him in some way, but I didn't know what we would find here at all. I thought maybe some kind of like, I don't know, like some kind of weapon that had been left behind by someone or something like that. I thought it'd be a weapon, in all honesty. But
we were hoping for a weapon.
When we arrived at the house, I was like, maybe not going to be a weapon, and I was like flicking through ideas, but I wasn't sure until we got in what it was going to be.
I mean,
to be completely honest.
Yeah, and we're only speculating here, but you know, the curiosity is his weakness his connection to his mother? Can we use that against him? Or is there something connected to her, to this home, that will give us a clue to how he ascended, which maybe, you know, if we can turn him into whoever he was before he became a god, we can kill him. Right?
Yeah, potentially. And I think if you look at kind of the final moments of the last session, he acted very affectionately. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that he cares about her very deeply. And I just think it's an emotional thing. Yeah. I really think that that's his anchor. That's his number one. You know, that's his number one supporter. That's how moms are.
Yeah. I can never tell with a god, because, you know, he could very well just say, you know what, she is my one weakness, and kill her. I'll bring her to my realm and treat her with respect there. But, you know, if it's as simple as just, you know, eventually she was gonna die of old age. I mean, even for an elf, she's old. But
so here's my question for the both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do with her, either as a player or as the character? What do you think we should do? I can start. I think we should take her to the Maw. And I think we should hook her up and get Bill out of there. That would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah, that's such a whoever put that bug in your brain is a terrible person.
And that bug, because Bill's a fly.
Yeah. Double. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping. I think Sanasha and I am hoping that there's some connection we have, something that we can glean through her presence that actually. Maybe, I mean, she could be his Horcrux, right? She could be the thing that allows us to defeat him by killing her. You know, the Harry Potter kill the Horcruxes, and Voldemort, when you kill him, he actually dies. You know, maybe the ritual, maybe while she was alive, is the ritual's actually connected to her.
Could be.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to investigate.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? What should we do with her?
I think killing her is going to be a terrible idea, because if we kill the one thing that he loves in this world, then what's stopping him just taking everything and like going full out?
That's what he was going to do anyways.
Yeah, but now he has more reason to, because there's nothing left.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't know what we should do with her. Probably, I mean, we should blackmail him.
Yeah. Obviously. Blackmail the Prince of Deception is such a good plan.
Saying... we should be like, oh, we're not gonna do it, but like, no, we are gonna. No, we should say we're gonna do it. But
yeah. I mean, what would if the only option we have is to blackmail her and kill her? If the option is he doesn't take our offer, would your characters be willing to pull the trigger, as it were?
Yes, of course, 100%. Now, new question.
Yeah.
Secondary question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most horrific thing that has been described within the series to us? To me, it was when we inherited the tower. Okay, and we started learning about what they did to the folks in the tower, because they weren't just torturing these folks, and they weren't just killing these folks. They were like stripping the essence out of their like bodies, like their soul, and like dispersing it. Okay, Now, I'm not saying that that's what we should do, but I'm saying
We should
that
tell him that's what we're going to do.
I'm saying the techniques, we have the notes, and I don't think he wants that to happen to his mom.
Yeah, he might have made her partially celestial, so.
See? So
Or
then we even have
infernal.
more leverage.
Yeah.
So we could definitely either threaten him with that or, you know,
well, and obviously, like, he has access to the maw, so putting his mom in the maw is gonna be horrible, but we presume that, you know, he's the one who put Immortal Tamlish there, because, you know, Immortal Tamlish was trying to help the party and was not able to do so because he disappeared, and Contras took credit for that.
Yes.
So we put his mom there. I mean, she probably won't survive the experience, but, you know, he'll also, yeah. We have so many horrible suggestions. Would Percy try to stop Emmeline if she tried to enact some of those plans there, Josh?
I don't know. We will see when it comes to it.
I mean,
I would be inclined to say yes, but
yeah,
with the way things are going,
I am truly
not.
curious about a true PvP moment within the group. Like, I know that that's typically not allowed within our play sessions, but I just truly wonder how it would go.
I think Emmeline,
a full-out 1v1 happened.
Emmeline would have to hit pretty hard to win, but it would depend on what the division is, right? Yeah, because it's saying Emmeline, being a wizard, has the ability to do a lot of damage really quickly. But I think...
But she has to maintain distance.
Yeah,
you know?
she does, yeah. And you've got Sanasha, who can, with her axe, do more damage than wizard HP.
Yeah, true,
in a single turn. So, but you also almost one-shotted most of the party when he did a duplicate of you, who did cast 2 spells in 1 turn. I will say that's not how that works, but magical duplicates. Yeah, so we'll keep that thought there, but I mean, Josh is here for a reason. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but we did start a little late. So, Josh, we're in an interesting place right now. We are in Percy's hometown. We are,
yes.
You know,
yes, we are.
Got to have an opportunity to see, you know, a glimmer of Percy's family, this family he's not been talking about, and this beautiful town that he used to live in. So, what's Percy's headspace right now going into this moment, into back home, as it were?
See, my problem is, right, not my problem, but like what I was thinking is Percy is not enjoying being at home. He doesn't want to be here. He's really frustrated that Sanasha was not trying to out him, but trying to make him use his family name. He got really frustrated at that. And then we had to go to this place, and then we find Contras's mother, right? And this like blows everything out of proportion, because now he can't care about his family, right? Like, that is so much smaller than the situation. Like, him being like, oh, my family's here is like such a nothing problem compared to the problem we're in right now. Like, he doesn't have time, or he shouldn't have the space to think about that, right?
Oh, I guess
That's why I'm thinking about it.
He had so little space that your Discord decided to disconnect you.
I'm back, don't worry.
Yeah, but you know, I guess that's kind of the question from there. So even in that thing, knowing that we're dealing with Contras, like this is him dealing with trauma he didn't want to come to terms with, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Sort of coming back to a life he doesn't want to come back to a city. And does he dislike his family, or does he just not care?
He has, like, I feel like if you had lived for, you know, you got kicked out when you was really young, and you had lived for 150 years, and you had sent letters and tried to communicate and heard nothing back, eventually you have to move on, right?
Mhm.
Like you just he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be here. He just wants to get this done with, leave,
Yeah.
and move on to the next problem. Like he doesn't. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't care. He just does not care enough to.
And how would he feel emotionally if, you know, let's say we deal with the conscious thing and we do get to meet with Rosie's family today? How would he feel if that homecoming is actually not as horrible as he was expecting? Like, they actually are welcoming him back.
I don't know.
No.
You'll
And-
have to watch to find out because
Yeah.
I don't know right now.
I mean, it's a reasonable reaction not to know, because it really, that's a theoretical question, and it's probably something we'll
been
have to discuss in the
Playing
future.
on my mind since last session, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what Michael's cooking up, and I
Mhm.
don't know if it's gonna be a warm welcome, if it's gonna be an argument. I'm all ready to have an argument with my family. I'm all ready for that. I'm ready to roleplay that out.
Yeah.
I'm ready to roleplay
I mean, yeah.
other stuff. I'm ready for any situation. I just don't know what to think right now.
Yeah,
I
because
think that makes for really good scenes, though.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because when the group went to Emmeline's continent and met
Yeah.
her family, I had no idea what we were walking into. Michael and I did not discuss it at all. So we just kind of freeformed it, and now we have a very complicated, diverse relationship between them. So I think that's
Mhm.
gonna happen for you. I think that it's gonna like naturally evolve.
It's at least confronting things that he may have moved past, but he's probably repressing, though. Because, like,
Mhm.
even if you've, like, cut somebody out of your life, seeing them again is still, there's still going to be a reaction.
For sure. But
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. And is any part of Percy happy to be in this town, at least, even if not for meeting his family? Like, does he have any fondness or memory of Miradorn?
I mean, not really, not particularly. Like a lot of this place is like he had a few friends before he left, but he never really came back,
Mhm.
and like he never really fit in with his family, he never really fit in with anyone, so he just kind of was a loner. So now he left, and then
Yeah.
he moved on with his life, and now he's back, and he's like, oh, it's nice being here, but like I don't have any friends to go to, and I don't want to go to my family, but they run everything, so it
Yeah.
just sucks. And now Conscious is here, so you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
he's got
and he
other
doesn't
things to
mind,
worry
but,
about.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
he
and
doesn't care.
and from him is the family that really hurts him is not this one. The one he actually lost, his actual family.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so how does he, I mean, yeah, we already know a little bit about the trauma he had with his family, so it's sort of, this is the family he moved past from, and we're kind of, he's got somebody he really loved that he lost.
yeah. He had a wife and he had a child, and then he lost them, and a terrible accident that totally wasn't his fault. But
Yeah, sure.
you know,
Maybe
he-
we'll find out it was his fault. Or maybe Nexus did it.
that would be some crazy,
Oh no, what have I done?
crazy law bending, time manipulation stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Like whatever happened was Nexus setting you on the path to eventually joining her. Could you imagine?
That would be crazy. That would be up to Michael. You'd have to ask Michael for that.
Yeah. But I think, like, you know, Chloe makes a good point, because there's a lot of benefit to that. And I think two of the best play moments we've had in this campaign actually came from people dealing with their families, which is obviously Emmeline dealing with her family, and then Diablo coming to terms with the loss of his mentor. So
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of juicy roleplay potentially waiting to happen, and I guess that's a story for another day, or maybe today. You guys have anything you want to ask? Any questions or?
No, I'm just super duper excited,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready to beat Contras.
Yeah,
TF up.
yeah. We're gonna commit some elder abuse, I guess, is the. Yeah, it's before we wrap it up, that is somehow a ongoing D&D meme is D&D characters beating up or hurting the elderly, and I don't understand why it always happens.
We do not support real life elder abuse.
We do not support real life elder abuse in any way. We love we love the elderly and take care of them and support them. And with that wonderful awkward end to this, thank you everyone for joining us for this week's Prestige Encounters Beyond the Dice. Just a reminder, we do hold this Q&A every week before the Prestige Encounter session, which is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Old Souls Gaming. We do welcome viewers, again, to submit your questions to the Prestige Encounters section on lichsouls.com. But we are closing this page on this chapter of our discussion. It's now time to roll the dice. Bye.